Team, welcome back to a continuation, actually the day one for our training on AI, a beginning of right from the basics, very fundamentals for beginners, and then we will slowly go advanced team. Now, what we did yesterday was an orientation session, and we tried to put everything that we're doing in the notebook LM. So I'm going to take that and also put it in the chat. Some of you were requesting for it. So we have access to that. And then there are a few things that we need to cover. And as part of the first few points, the most key things that we wanted to do are two sessions. One session focuses on trying to understand different concepts of AI. That is what we'll try and do first. Then we will get into session 2, Python fundamentals, getting started. Now, team, the way we are learning is futuristic. We are not going to be um, going through the typical earlier way of how we try to learn each and every topic. We're going to use the advent of AI to a large extent to help us, assist us, learn faster, learn better. That is where we'll keep growing in. Okay, sorry. Delete that and then. This is the notebook LM that we created. Now, our first topic is to talk about I won't talk too much about the history and its evolution, team. We'll talk about where it is today, where industries are going, what are the applications. So let's focus on these topics. I'll take this to the end of this notepad document where I had everything being put. And also, team, for your information, all the videos are put in the members area on this link. I'm putting that link also in chat for you. You can take both of them, please. And this is where on iTeLearn, we have the videos hosted. So if you go there, and if you're a member signed in, you should be able to access these. There are about 18 lessons by date. There are a few missing in between, which will add, but at least the AI agents was where we ended the last previous training. The new AI training orientation session, September batch is here. So you can click on preview. Only one is there for preview. There is the two videos are there, both are the same videos. You can watch them. Today's session and everyday session, as they get recorded, I'll put it there. Any other questions before we get going? Okay, let me know. I'm here. And meanwhile, what I'm going to do is let's talk about, so this is where we have all those, right? Different ways. Does it have, September AI trainings topic.pdf is there. So let's talk about, help me learn the concepts for below topics. So notebook LM keeps us in the right relevance, and that is where we want to make sure that we ask the right questions just to fasten our learning, just to make sure our learning is more concrete. We have not missed out anything. That's important, team. And while, did I send it? Oops, there we go. It's working on it, it's preparing. So for us, these are very important key areas, team. Now, at a high level, let's talk about each of these, what they do: chatbots, LLMs, GenAI, agents, agentic AI, RAG, MCP agent to agent, and SaaS solutions. So how many of you are aware of almost all these terms, and how many of you are not sure of some of the terms that are being written here? Can you tell me please in the chat? Would be nice for me to know that. Okay, every aspect of life, AI can see in advance. I think it's a nice document that came up. Let's look at it. We will go through this. But before that, let's answer this. Chatbots, what is a chatbot, team? None of them. That's so nice. Not aware of some of them. Not sure about all. Fair enough, team. Yeah. Let's go one by one. And we will try and keep it very simple, so we know as a layman terms what it is. So here, ask question in text. We'll try and give the best human-like answer. Also in text. Now, what it is doing is a text-based execution team. For it, language is important. So LLMs is nothing but a large language model. Now, NotebookLM is notebook language model, where instead of the word large, the reference is now on specific notebooks or documents that we give. That is where NotebookLM comes and says, in our case, we have these following as sources. I'll only keep it there. That's part of RAG. But the large language model primarily can go through the web. It can read through all blogs. It can read through all documentation, Git repos, know everything about tools, tech, etc. So it consistently goes into the large, I mean, into the whole World Wide Web, looks at public sources, gets all the information and tries to answer it. Now, to be able to do all of these, they use very, very high compute power team. And we'll talk about that too, called GPUs, General Processing Unit, or Graphical Processing Unit also has been called earlier, because uh, to a large extent, for a large time, the most advanced systems that we needed were gaming computers. And these GPUs do parallel processing to be able to quickly get our answers. Yes, there are the issues like, is it trustworthy? Is it correct, accurate answer? Is it expensive? Will it hallucinate? What happens in hallucination is you keep talking to it over a period of time, let's say an hour or two, you're chatting, you're asking one question on the other with a chatbot or LLMs. Which are the various chatbots team that we have in common that we use? I used to use a lot of Grok. ChatGPT is doing phenomenal right now. I have not used DeepSeek much. I do use Gemini from Google. What else do I use? I use different models within AI solutions. And we'll talk about those agents also, team. Any questions for chatbots and LLMs? Now, these are the basic two pairs that lets us do to a large extent. And this is where the whole focus has been till end of last year, or no, even middle of last year. From then came a few more things. Gen AI, generative AI. What does it do? So here it is trying to do more than just text. It wants to build something for you, maybe images, maybe videos, maybe it'll continue to do text, maybe it wants to write code for you, maybe it wants to build your entire project documentations. So whatever you want, you are able to slowly get to it. So now your questions are not like, hey, what is the weather or where to go partying, something like that. They're more like, let's do the whole thing. Where you do research out here on your project and we build together. Okay. Now there is Google NotebookLM we are seeing already. Let's also see the concept of Colab. Colab Notebook. This comes under Gen AI and vibe coding team. So we'll go there. Come on. Okay, there we go. Colab.google.com. Let's check this out. All right. Silly question. No, there's no silly question at all, please. Any question is good. Do you use paid version? I use paid version for one or two. For example, Cursor, I use paid version. But for other LLMs, my prompting is so good. I'm trying to get better at it, that I can use the simplest LLM engines, models, and not having to go for premium subscriptions, and that's fine. Prompting is key. How we continue to prompt. So we'll talk about that. What are agents? So Gen AI helps us to build together. We look at Colab and how to do Py coding with it. And this is where we learn Python. You can take it later into a typical IDE. What is an IDE team? Integrated Development Environment. You have VSS, you have PyCharm, you have Eclipse, very popular ones. The one I'm using right now is Cursor, and I want every one of you to start practicing on Cursor as well. This is very critical. And team, please remember, Monday to Friday, weekdays, we have the project work where I go deep dive into everything that we're doing at each level and be able to show you that, okay, you know what, this is how we go deeper into Cursor. In a training, I'm able to give you a perspective, but you're not putting your hands on onto it. So when we working on the project together on weekdays, you'll be able to do more hands on. Now, what are agents, team? Agents are this above LLMs, GenAI give me info or content back. That's what they do. And then the human takes next actions. This is what all your GenAI LLM chatbots do. LLM chatbots and GenAI. Now, agents have a very different purpose, team. They're primarily task masters. They will actually do tasks rather than just saying how to do, or yeah, how to do, or how or what to do. So if I ask an agent that, can you go and book tickets for me for the top playing movie in the theater that is closest to me, let's say IMAX, and it should be able to find the movie, find the ratings, find the closest theaters, find the availability, find the best seats, and book the tickets and send it to me. That's the entire task it has to perform. So LLM chatbots Gen AI will only give us information back. Agents will help us do things. What are agents? Popular ones: N8, Zapier, there's make.com, there's crew.ai. Um, what else are there? Agent or agents.ai, which has a list of all the different agent providers. So if you are a AI developer, you can build and sell agents. So for example, think of a small startup and they have a social media need where every 3 days or every 2 days they have to go and post something. So they want, for the social media optimization, content created, published, monitored. So at a high level, we're saying what the steps are. We'll go very deep into these tools, team, and how they're built. And if you have time and if you have more interest, then go back to our training videos out here. And in that, you will see that 31st August and 30th August were two big sessions on agents. So almost about 2.5 hours, I think, each together. So you'll learn a lot. All right. So go through this. It'll be interesting. I think it's playing automatically here. All right. Let's go back to Colab. Questions, anyone? Meanwhile, so that's an agent. Now, agent does tasks. Okay. Here in agents, there is still a human supervision, oversight, permissions, and control. So agents will go about in that direction. You give them tasks to do, exactly how to do, what to use, tools to use, how to do, do's and don'ts. If you give it its rules and so on, it'll go about doing it in that direction. Agentic AI tries to get more autonomous. Let us say you're deploying an application, okay, an application under test, and there are constant defects identified through a testing framework. Now that could be Playwright, that could be Tosca, that could be Mabel, that could be Foxes, through testing automation framework. So what is happening? This framework is running, constantly identifying defects and then defects get analyzed, root cause identified, code changed, retested, and deployed, and keep doing this as a cycle. So what is happening now? I will only put an application. I want it to no more ask me questions. Its goal is very simple. I'll give it its very specific goal and say this is exactly what you need to perform, and it will go about doing it. That is agentic AI team. Agents, AI agents, basically it will do tasks based on what you said. Agentic AI, you give it a larger vision, larger goal, and say, here is my requirement. Now you go. Don't ask me any question in between and get me all the uh, tasks done. That is your agentic AI. We just have two more in this, and then we can talk about a few more. What is RAG? So retrieval augmented generation. The problem with this LLM references all public documents. In RAG, what you say is only focus your content. So if even NotebookLM is the same RAG model. How is it a RAG model that way? Um, where is it here? All right. I have my sources. I can add specific context. So I can add Google Docs, Google Slides, website, YouTube, copy text, and a few different kinds of MP3 audios. I think video also, I'm not sure, but it doesn't take every type of formatting. Retrieval augmented generation basically gives the scope to LLM that only look at this, don't go outside into the public domain. LLM chatbots, GenAI will look at everything that is available to them, apart from what you try and upload as context or text. RAG will only focus on your documentation. And in that, the popular one that we use is NotebookLM. Now, here's the thing, team. These are hybrid solutions sometimes. Remember this word. So they may have a little bit of agentic AI approach, a little bit of RAG, a little bit of MCP, and all that. So that is where you'll see that there are no simple or pure RAG only solutions or MCP only solutions. There are always a mix, and SaaS solutions will tell us this is the upcoming or leaders, existing leaders of AI solutions and services. And it's very interesting, team, as to what all is being done at that level. One second, is this the one? This is a nice comparison. I'll show you this. Okay. Now, SaaS solutions are very critical. You need to understand who is providing what. For example, I use things like Eraser, I use Canva, we use Base 44, we use what else is the Claude. Though this SaaS solutions, there are a lot of features that these companies have been putting in team. They try and solve different purpose. Now, what happens with MCP? These are basically connectors to existing providers of automation or AI services. We'll talk a lot about MCP, Model Context Protocol, where we created how two applications can talk to each other. It's more like very similar to how APIs work, but a different JSON format and so on. Let us say I want to do some um, file organization on my desktop. Okay. I want to connect to my Google and check emails, respond to critical ones. I want to log into my LinkedIn and make some posts. Now, at a high level, these are more like agentic AI or AI agents tasks, or I want to test my web app using Playwright. What MCP does is for each of them, it will create or it has a connector. So there's a file organization MCP to help me do this. Google has provided an MCP as a service provider, which will let us connect to Google using APIs or authentication, um, and then be able to check these emails. I think you have to go to Google Cloud, if I'm not wrong, to upgrade, but you basically have a connector for it. And that's what is key. Same for LinkedIn or web UI or LinkedIn. Either LinkedIn has provided an MCP where it says, yeah, in LinkedIn you can do A, B, C, D actions only. Though if you go to LinkedIn, an actual website, you can do everything. But I don't want to go to Google. I don't want to go to my desktop. I don't want to go to my application under test. So for each of them, we've created MCPs. And you could create at your end an MCP server, an MCP client, and some documentation, and end users can start using it. Now, agent to agent is what Google brought in as a competitor to MCP. So when this agent has to do tasks, it is not always doing on one platform. It has to go from one platform to the other, to the other, sometimes UI, sometimes database, sometimes API. So it's very confusing for it where to go. In agent to agent, we say what agents can talk to what agents. Exactly the same concept of model context protocol. Clear so far, team? All these things are taken and put into some beautiful solutions. Let's look at these. These are interesting. I'll show you what all we're doing there. Let's go to eraser.io. Perfect. Now, what I do here is I need to explain things as diagrams. So all these tools were existing for a very long time, team. These are not new tools. But the fact that they have learned to adopt AI and provide it as a feature for the end user, that's a beautiful thing. Base 44. Let's go here. Let's go to Canva, canva.com. Let's go to Crew AI. All of these are very nice tools. And by end of this training, you have to master at least half a dozen of these things, minimum. And you have to be aware of another 2 dozen. So at least about 20 tools you have to really learn well. All right. For example, I'm doing some project architecture here or data flow diagrams. So how do I create a diagram depending on a prompt? So it's loading very slow. Give it a second. Any questions meanwhile? I was going on a non-stop speech about the background of AI and what it's doing. I'll wait for this to come. I always make the mistake. I go to crew.ai, but the actual website is crewai.com. Wow, my page is still not loaded. That is where these components are heavy lifting web. So it's definitely my internet issue, I guess. Some construction work going on at home, and that's where I'm having a little challenge. Look at this team. All I do is go here in my AI and ask it to change my diagram. For example, when I asked it to first create it, it said this is my how the flow would be initially. And I said, okay, I like the flow. I like the way it is organized and be giving. None of this is hand drawn, team. I can later go and edit it if I want. But to begin with, I give it a context and it generates. And I said, you know what? Give me a simpler diagram with colors. And it would do that. This is one of the AI tools called Eraser. So your SaaS tools help you do a lot of things that way. Now, this is the premium version that I've taken. Base 44 helps me build websites. All I have to do is say, can you help me build a website for a gardening supply store? And it's also helping me do autocomplete. These are nice features that everyone is adding. There's a lot of expectations from the end customer team. And that becomes important as to how we provide services. So if you are an engineer, your end customers will expect you to bring in the best AI solutions and suggest the best way forward. So each tool is trying to do something, achieve something different. And that is where we need to focus and say what we want to do. All right. So we're not going into any of these at length today. Maybe we'll go into Colab and do some Python program. All right. But I'll just keep this so you have access to, or you can see what we're doing. Now, we gave our prompt also to NotebookLM, correct? I think it is here. Or ChatGPT. Nice. Let me ask the same prompt which I asked NotebookLM into ChatGPT. What did I ask here? This is the one. Now, this is our agenda. We wanted to learn. I gave you an overview. Let us see how AI helps me to do it. First, let's go through NotebookLM. All right. Can we read this document, team? And let's see if you can generate a mind map on this. Save to note. Help me generate mind map on section 1, content represented above. Be good in your English, team. Be good in your grammar. Be good in um, asking correctly. So typical earlier I used to ask, can you generate a mind map or can you do this? And the answer would be, yes, I can do it. And then it would say, would you want me to do it? That's an unnecessary 2 prompts that I'm putting. Rather, I'll say, go do it. Here is a mind map. Where is it? Encompassing the foundation. One day ago, one day ago, one day ago. Oh, there we go. It's generating. Nice. Let it generate this mind map. We should be able to visually also see it. I'm going to read the first portion, team. Is it okay if I copy this back to our September trainings and put it here? So that way, this Google Doc has expanded content as we build each day. How's everyone doing Sunday morning? Having a fresh day? What we just had about 30 minutes so far. It looked long. Okay, let's go through this document once, please. This is what the first topic was, and we wanted to give us some overview. Welcome and program overview highlighting how AI is transforming work and opening multiple career paths. Career paths, there's a lot to talk about, team. It's not that simple. Excuse me. Yes, certifications, real experience, exposure helps, but we need to be much more smarter to be surviving. We'll go there. Shift is up, opening up significant career opportunities. How to AI almost anything. And if you remember, in our notebook LM, we not only gave the September training, but I gave a lot of other recent ones. For example, this lecture from MIT on implications of AI and how we can almost automate anything. And that is where the word anyot came, automate anything that I tried to create 10 years ago. Now with AI, we should be able to do much better job. All right. So this is an interesting thing that you should maybe watch the video also. If you don't have time to watch the video, at least get a mind map generated on that video. All right. All this there in that. Allowing individuals with 0 years of experience to compete with those with 25 years of experience due to AI. Even played. That's a very key term, team. I like the way it is telling me specific terms, and that's a good observation. Let's look at this. One of the significant impacts is that AI is quickly changing how we work, with 73% of US companies already using AI in some capacity. That's a big statement, team. That's a lot of progress. AI can speed up and enhance how we work. There are also limitations and issues. If AI didn't have limitations, then there was no boundaries. We don't even need jobs. People still want to control it and nicely deploy it. History and evolution since ChatGPT actually released and where we are, I think most of you are aware. Be more concerned about the latest rather than how it evolved, because you can go back 50, 60 years to its actual evolution. The development of programming languages like Python has been crucial to AI's growth. And that's a very key statement, team. It is not just that AI technology or machine learning is growing, even the programming language had to go in sync. If the programming language did not have the power, how can we achieve anything larger? And that is where Python kept evolving. And one video that I really loved was the overview on Python. Where was that? There we go. Python, the documentary. This is a nice video, team. So if you go to NotebookLM, if you have this link, you should be able to watch these videos, do it on YouTube. It's a long one. It's a documentary. It's not really something where you gain knowledge, but maybe you'll get a lot of inspiration of how people built things when there was no hope, then there's no need, when there was no ask, but they believed that, yes, it'll change the world. And that's where Python came in. Let's look at current industry applications. I spoke a few case studies. Let's look at what else. Healthcare, the same predictions on X-ray images, understanding different cells. So there's huge impact. Machine vision with cameras, sensors, inpatient rooms can detect patient movements. So look at what can be achieved within healthcare. Now, typically, drug, pharma, healthcare industries are very, very slow in technology adoption. Why? Because for them, HIPAA, PHI, PII becomes most critical. So healthcare is one of the most critical industries, team. So if we are able to make some small impacts in healthcare, that's great. Cyber security to a large extent should be squagged away with AI. Like there is no reason why we cannot use the most advanced AI to defend uh, ourselves and block any attackers. So that's very important. Manufacturing plants, they won't die. And if you're aware of what's happening with the US politics and global trade war with the tariff and all, there is a whole calling from our President Donald Trump to get investors to start opening manufacturing plants within the US. Now, a typical manufacturing plant, let's say, costs about $20 million in China, and let's say costs about $35 million to put in India, or let's say 50 million to put in South America or somewhere. To put the same in California would cost them 200 million, and that's a huge cost. So how would they do it? With AI, they can create the state-of-the-art next-level manufacturing plants where the human cost is very low, and that's where there's a lot of immigration and all these policies coming in. Manufacturing plants can now be created for $25 million within the US because they'll be humanless operated to a large extent. And that's the business model. That's how, and they can ship it locally, they can do everything locally. The biggest problem for US was labor cost for a lot of these tier one countries. Retail e-commerce, brilliant. I mean, right from building solutions all the way to managing everything. How is the customer buying? What are the experiences? What are the trends? Is the customer happy? Would he or she come back for a next purchase? And things like, even if I want to buy something, we would do web scraping instead of me going and searching on Google and Amazon and this cart and that cart. I'll just ask my agent, find the place where I can find this shoe for the cheapest price, ship it for me, and it'll do everything. That's the power which retail and e-commerce are getting. Content creation media I was speaking about. You can create marketing collaterals, you can create uh, test cases, test plans, test strategies, you can create Jira stories, almost everything. All output may not be correct, so there's still a human supervision that is required to ensure that that is correct. But if you put AI with AI as a cycle, create content, verify with AI, improve content, so that will keep improving, and you don't need to be in between anymore. Scientific research, perfect, it goes big way. There's like, you can play around a lot. You have compute power to the largest now. Autonomous vehicles, self-driving and autonomous vehicles, FSDs and all have been their team. And they're already using a lot of technology, um, and AI to certain extents is automation is the main goal. And I think it'll just help them go for better and better. The problem is FSD is there, full self-drive in Tesla and a few models. We have this almost, guiding car this way. They cruise and they stay on the lane and so on. But they're not giving that control team. Why? Because if AI makes a mistakes, you don't know who to blame. You cannot take AI to court. You can take another human driver to take a court or a company. But how will I take an AI to court? So that is where it becomes harder for legal battles, and it may take time, but they will adopt. Business operations end to end. Wow, that's a lot. Let's look at a few more things, Tim. These are important aspects to what we're getting into. So you all should be aware as to where the world is going, what are the possibilities, and what our journeys and how we'll learn them. Understanding the transformative power of AI in various fields and career opportunities, enhance productivity, democratization of technology. Look at this, team. Let's read this. Very important. Because there's been a lot of monopoly for a long time, and now let's say if I was an entrepreneur and I had a big vision to create, I would go to an IBM or an Accenture or a Deloitte for consulting, or I might go to something like an Infosys or HCL or some of these large IT organizations and say, hey, I need about 30, 40 people to finish this project. And then what is happening is these large consulting firms have amassed a huge set of tools, technologies, and they control how corporations are working. And they've built custom things. So they've created certain amount of dependency team on them. With AI, the same entrepreneur is not having to go to the consulting companies. He or she will start by sitting with eraser, draw some diagrams, give it to base 44, ask it to improve and create something for us, and it's amazing what can be done, team, from there on. So there is a new way of looking at it. All these large IT organizations are going to have a very, very tough time, team, if they, because any small company, a bouquet shop, who's a startup in AI, can give a big challenge now. New capabilities, multimodal AI. So there's LLM and there's MLM. um, Career transformation. Let's look at this, what it's saying. The demand for AI skills is high, team. And here's a supply chain problem that you have to solve. You equip yourself so well in the next 6 weeks on AI skills that you can become a good advisor. Everyone around us want to have AI help them. So if you're able to be an advisor, suggest and say, we can do this for you, you have a job in your hand, team. That's where you need to look at. We went through this, but let's quickly see what it says again. Chatbots, AI system designed to simulate human conversation. I think that's very similar to what I was saying. LLM, AI models capable of understanding, generating human-like text, like GPT-4, Claude. So these are all different models, team. Each time they're launching better and better models. They're getting faster, they're using lesser processing speed, they're getting more accurate, and they're able to do much more with lesser resources and time. So they're improving, and I'm sure that this technology race of where the hardwares and GPUs are getting there to what AIs can do is going very fast, hand to hand. So next 3 4 months are going to be amazing in terms of that growth. Gen AI. So remember I was saying text, images, music, video, whatever you want, that you can generate. OpenAI Sora generates video. That's a nice one. DALI generates pictures. These are things we'll explore, team, definitely. Agents, AI agents, agentic AI. Wow, thank you. Artificial agent with natural languages whose function is to plan and execute sequence of actions and on behalf of a user across one or more domains. Perfect. Agentic AI focuses on making these agents more independent and autonomous. See, that's a keyword. Autonomous being is the keyword, independent and autonomous. So performing duties without constant human intervention. That's the difference. You understand the difference now, team, between AI agents and agentic AI? AI agents will continue to help you, but you need to interact with them. Agentic AI will keep doing it. At the core of there's a growing argument that small language models, see, this is a very, very key term. Large language model, I don't need all the time. Why do I need the entire world language when my goal is very simple? Are the future for specialized, repetitive agent tasks due to their efficiency and cost effectiveness. This is beautiful, team. Are you all with me? Are you getting the concepts? Yes or no, please, in the chat. This RAG, we spoke about it. We spoke about MCP and A2A, and we spoke about software as a service. These include QA, QB tools, test team, tri-scientists. All of this have got AI into them team. Test trigger, no, it's test rigor, if I'm not wrong. Or there's a test trigger also could be. Even if you go beyond QA to QE, there's so many other tools. Introduction to AI for non-tech professionals and beginners. Low-code, no-code tools. Perfect. Replit, Agent GPT, Bolt, Foxes comes in the same similar space. Vibe coding. What is vibe coding, team? This is an important one. It is when I sit down with Cursor and say, hey, you know what, Cursor, I'm tired of writing this code. Can you help me finish that code? And it'll help me go about building my entire code, data, and everything for me. So I'm using AI to help me code. Colab, Google Colab, that we will work on. That's one thing where we can do simple vibe coding. Let me open Colab first. I'm sorry. Let me take a small, quick break team for a sip of water. Any questions meanwhile? Okay, it's back. My scene went black. Intuitive interface. I'm trying to understand the statement. To be user friendly, yes. So with conversational interfaces like chatbots, making interaction straightforward. Simplified learning. Okay. Focus on problem solving. Very nice, simple. Thank you. That's a good answer. Let's see what Chat GPT said. Okay, AI history and evolution, 1950s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, blah, blah, blah. Healthcare, finance, retail, manufacturing, education, transformative power and career opportunities. AI is like electricity. It's power every field, powers every field. Careers, data scientist, AI engineer, ML ops, QA automation with AI. Remember someone was asking me yesterday about what are we planning to do? Um, what would be the new title of our roles be? Because right now you're an automation engineer, quality engineer, or an SDET, let us assume. So QA automation with AI, AI product designer. So product designer is a much better term. Uh, uh, like AI architect could be a wider and a larger term. Product designer is a more specific term where you can design products using AI tools around it. Wow, AI, machine learning, deep learning, GenAI, LLM. This is a nice document too. I should be able to share even a chat GPT link because it's the same thing. So I'll copy this and I'll put it up. Create link. May include personal information. Copy link. I'll put it up here. Session 1 content. All right. Let's see. What else did it say? I think we went through everything. It was a smart summary. It's good. Now, this is key that we understand and we realize where things are going. Why is this not signing into base 44? I think I'm trying base 44. But I have Colab here. See, base 44 helps to build websites team. So I asked it to build something and it is working on it. You remember this word, intuitive interfaces and simplified learning? So this is a keyword team. Um, I've been speaking about Foxes to all of you. I'm slowly getting it into the market. It is still under the cover for now. We have to do a full launch. The application is getting ready, but what is interesting is what AI is already talking about it. So when I look at AI company, it's a company, AI comparisons for companies, who's doing what in which engineering, architecture, automation capabilities, AI, LLM integration, ease of use is in green, gray, and then market adoption. So each of these scale AI, coherent, stability AI, runway, hugging face, OctoML, they all are leading AI companies team. So there's a constant analysis that we are able to create and do on what are the latest things happening in AI. Because at the end of it, what we would create is something like this, where while there is functionalities, every application will have an AI window wherein they're able to specifically ask within the context of what we do, help me improve, help me improve, analyze, give more insights, generate more automation, assist me. So these are standard things that every application, that's where the intuitive approach comes in team. Intuitive interfaces and approach on how the designs are being done. Okay, I'm going little bit all over the place. Let's see if did this anything. Okay, it's creating the app. I asked it to do something correct. Um, oh, a beautiful gardening supply store. And it is trying to create an entire application. Now, base 44 might give you the free version with few limitations, but if you become a paid member, it'll give you all the files. You take it, start improving from there and hosting it. So this is a great starting points team for entrepreneurs. They don't need a web developer, product designer and all. They can start with something simple, test it, use AI, launch everything that is needed. Okay, welcome to Colab. Where are my collabs? Oh, I think in this account there are none. Let's create a new one. I'll say once this is done, we'll do a little bit of Python programming team. Um, and then you can tell me. We've been about 50 minutes into the session, a little lesser than that. We are on colab.research.google.com. If I'm creating this, I should also be able to share it with you. Py for AI, I'll say. Okay. I made a star. It should be in my Google Drive. Let me copy this and see if you all are able to access Team. And what I'm doing at my end can also be done at your end. If you would want, I don't mind making one of you the presenters. You can share your screen and we can do this collab on your machine. Anyone with the link is an editor. I'm giving you edit permissions. Copy link. I'm putting it in here. And I'm also putting it in the chat for the team. What do you think Colab is? Can someone unmute and help me give an answer? What is Google Colab? What does it do? You can also put in the chat, but I would love to hear your voice. I'm going on mute team for 30 seconds. I would love to hear from you before we continue with Python programming using Colab. Then we'll get into the other tools. Is it at least interesting what you're hearing? Is it making sense? Is it getting clearer? Slowly we can master it. Do you believe in it, team? Feel that I didn't understand a concept, go back and watch the video team. Or try and practice a little. Or when you come back next day, ask me a question. Don't shy away. We'll solve it one together. What is it that I can start coding or generate with AI? I don't even know Python. So the first thing I'll do is write a comment and say, want to write a Python code that reverses a string. That's my need team. Now, how do I write this code? There are multiple ways. If I'm a Python programmer, I'll start creating a variable, put some text into it, then go character, make it as a list, and start with the end and start putting it into a new list, and then finally merge them into a string. But if I'm not, um, then I will ask AI to help me. Yo, generate. Let me remove the comment. Now let's see. Help me write the code. What happened? It stopped suggesting anything for me. Generate with AI, I'll say here. There we go. I had to accept something, and that's why I didn't let it earlier. Now is there. Want to write a Python code that reverses a string. And that's a starting point. So let's see. What it basically does is two things, team. One, it will give me a code that helps me to reverse and perform. And if you're a programmer, you know that the same problem can be solved in multiple ways, in multiple dimensions. So this is one version that it gave me. It'll give me the code, and it'll also give me a computer or a notebook remotely where I can run my Python code. So this is a hello world. I'm taking my string. So here is how you're going to learn Python, team, one by one, slowly. The best place that I actually try and do is w3schools.com. And the reason is everything is organized. We can go step by step today a little bit, and then as we continue, but make sure that we cover all the concepts. So right from how to do comments, how can we put a variable data into it, and what are the different data types. All of these are critical, team. Now, I'm not sure if I'll be able to go spend 10-15 hours into Python deep dive, but we're planning to spend at least 2-3 hours. So I'll be a little faster, but if there's any question, any point, let's see. Why are we able to learn this W3 Schools content faster? Because we have tools like Colab and Copilot and so on. Now I want it, I'll say accept and run. So I can run it from here, or I can run it from here. Let's say run from here. Do you understand why this red line is there and this plus plus green? One is minus and a red background. Then there's 3 plus out here with a green background. Can someone tell me why? I don't need this release notes. Can someone tell me why, please? Why is there a red line and 3 green lines? There's something about the tool that it's trying to communicate to us, correct? What is it trying to do? Team, I want you to be a little bit more responsive, please. It is earlier there was an empty line, there was one line. So minus red color is basically it deleted that earlier line. And plus in green is added new lines, correct? Red deletion in minus, plus is addition. That's the code change. Yes. So be aware of such small nitty-gritties, so that way you have a total control on the tool or application itself. So it's running. Why should it take so long? If I take the same thing and run it in any other IDE, it will be much faster. There we go. Hello world is now printed reverse. Now here's the thing. I want, is there a different method using um, for loop string to list, etc., to do the same? Now, I hope it'll remember the context. So again, I'm not saying reverse the string and all that. So look at what it did. It deleted that old code. Now look at this new code. I'll ask it to keep both versions for me. Let's try and understand what it's doing. This is nice. I like the way it is interacting with me. I moved it to a panel on the side. Both versions of the code are now in your notebook. You have the original version. Where is it? It removed everything. Where is it? Both versions of the code. I don't see it. I like the way AI apologizes also sometimes. And look at my spell errors here. Okay, there we go. Method one. I apologize. See, there it go. First thing it do is I apologize. I mean, for human, it is not easy to apologize because there's a lot of emotional feeling, and then you have to go back and think through why I had to apologize and improve so that next time we don't have to apologize. For a machine, it still is a courtesy, and I'm sure that it has to go through certain things otherwise. There we go. Method one, method two. Let's look at this. This should help us understand a little bit about programming, team. This is one that we're writing. We'll add more code. We'll see how we can. Okay. So this is a text which I will move above Okay, that's fine. Let's look at the code. One of the best ways to learn coding is first to read code. Next is to write or edit code. Third is to start writing your own code. So for example, method world, hello world is there. What if I put a palindrome? What is a palindrome, team? Anyone? Is my string. So this is the same string. This is a variable called my string. In that I'm putting a text. So that become a text variable, right? In the method one, I'm using that. And this is basically a regular expression for getting a subset of a string where it says starting position, ending position, and step increments. So this is basically saying go to the end and decrease one step at a time. That is a shortcut, team, that is built in through Python capabilities, because users have found that they want to be able to do string editings. They want a subset of a string. They want, let's say, each word to do word counting. So there's so many things that we could do. Now what we're doing is we put everything into the new one called reversed string slice. So string is sliced, it's split into specific portions. Using slicing as method one, that's the output. Same string, my underscore string, in which I'm saying SaaS. Now I'm saying reversed underscore list. This is important, team. What are lists? There's a concept of arrays that Java and all have. And there's a very similar thing called lists. It's not exactly like arrays, but how you can store data in a series of data in one variable name, and how you can do certain things with it. So we will go a little bit more deeper into lists, difference between that, tuple sets and dictionaries. We will also go a little deeper into things like Lambda. We will definitely do a lot on JSON. We will also get into file handling. We will have to do NumPy a little bit, Pandas a lot, SciPy a little bit, Matplotlib. These are important, team, for us. And then if we have time or we can go, we should do a lot of machine learning as well. All right, so that's a good reference, W3 schools, for what we are learning and where we're going. Now here is the other approach. In this, we have loops called for loop. And while it looks like English to a large extent, why? Because the naming convention is this. What if I name this as variable one? And then I have to change this also to variable one. Now, for someone new, they would not know what this variable one is, because it doesn't say anything. It just says, oh, it's a variable. What variable is it? We don't know. But if it, when we said it's my underscore string, then we know that, oh, it is a string variable. I use this variable. So giving very descriptive naming is very critical for future maintenance of any code. All right. Now, what it is doing here is for character in reverse string list, append. So this is a list, one character at a time. It is taken from the string and it is appending it in the reverse. It is already reversing it here and doing it. So look at what our options are, team. Any other way is a question. Give me 3 methods. So I am actually testing how far can Colab go to help me with my um, requirements. Sure, there's a third way to reverse the string. It's using the reversed function. See, now they're happily using reverse function. So where is the earlier code? That is the problem, team. So what I have to do is make sure I write a text, and I'll call it here, check if a word is a palindrome. Is that correct, team? What I'm saying, palindrome? I should be able to do AI from here itself. Right click, no? Okay. Okay, what I'm trying to do, write PyCode to check if a word is a palindrome. So now I'm trying to do it in here, and I wanted to do the code here, not in the earlier section. Why is it deleting my old code? I went to the new one. There we go. What is a palindrome, team? Checks if a word is a palindrome. Remove spaces and convert to lowercase for case sensitive intercheck. And then example usage, race car, hello, a man, a plan, canal, Panama. Wow. All right. So we're seeing if a reverse of a string is same as the original. And I think that works for race car. It also seems to be working for a man, a plan, a canal, Panama. Now, hello, it will not work because definitely not reverse the same way. Let's look at how it is done, team. There is a function here called define or definition. That is how we use as a small term to create a function. In this, there is a new method that we created called is underscore palindrome. And into that, we send an input. Into any function, you can send information. Based on that, it can do its actions, it can perform. So if I change the word and I send different words each time, it will do the different actions for us. So it'll check if it's a word is palindrome. That's the purpose of it. Clean underscore word. This is the first important thing, where it is taking the word, it is splitting it, it is removing all spaces, and it is also removing the upper and lower cases, making it all lower case, I believe. That way it's easy to comparison, because an uppercase A compared to a lowercase a may not be the same for Python. It could be case sensitive, so we want everything to be in one case. Now, once we get the cleaned word without any cases, let's try and print that also and see what is a cleaned word. So I'll say print. So while Colab is giving me code, I can continue to add more also. The cleaned word is, comma, cleaned underscore word, tab. So learn to use tabs, learn to use a few autocomplete that basically improves the speed at which you perform task, team. So we cannot be using the latest AI tools and our typing is slow, or what we have to do next is slow. We have to get very proficient and smooth at it. Now done. Now what is happening when this function is called? It will give the cleaned word, and it is not checking. Clean word is equal to same thing. Remember how it reversed? Starting with ending, starting, go till the beginning, and then reverse one step at a time. Word one, word two, word three. Three words. In this, I have print statements. So look at where this function or method is palindrome getting called within the print statement. So F is basically if I want anything to get parameterized within it, I give it in curl brackets. And here curl brackets, word one is there, word two, word three. So the actual value of the variable gets replaced in here. This is a text constant, so no, nothing problem here. Another curl brackets open and close. In this, what is there? Is there a variable, team? No. There is a call to a function that we created. It will do some actions, but I'm passing a variable to it. So what will get replaced within this curl brackets? Whatever this function is palindrome returns to us. So what is it returning? Clean underscore word. So that will get printed here. So how many times is this function going to get called? 3 times. Why? Because I have 3 words for now. So it's the same function. Only thing that is changing is the word that we send. So that's why it is created, so we can reuse it for future. Let's run this and see. The cleaned word is race car. See, this is the inclusion that we did. So we know if we see it, race car is a palindrome, true. Ah, sorry team. It is not returning the word. If you see this, there is a single equal to here. What happens when there's single equal to? Anything on the right side gets put onto the thing on the left side with an equal to sign. You all with me? For example, race car goes and sits into word1 as a variable name. In here, there are two equal tos. What does it mean? Anyone? Why are there two equal tos there? Why is Python syntax slowly changing? Guys, come on. That's basically a comparison team. So I'm saying if the left side and right side are equal, it is an almost like how we say it's an if statement. Yes, to compare if both left and right is the same. I can say not equal to like this, or I can say if they're numbers, they're less than or greater than. So now what will get returned? This is a conditional statement that returns only two things, a true or a false. And that variable type is called a Boolean. Boolean holds only two values, either it's true or false. So in this curl brackets, it will get replaced with a true or a false. So race car is a palindrome, true. Hello is a palindrome, false. A man, a plan, a canal, Panama is a palindrome because if you start reading it back, it is that. And this is what we got as the cleaned word. That's nice. That's a nice code. Leave that there. I want to create another code. I hope it won't or generate with AI. Now let's see. What else? Can you help count words in a text? Is it deleting my old code? I don't want it to. It is, right? Each time. Sorry, team. But you almost know what we did. You can look at the video and go back and repeat it. Perfect. So this is simple text to count the words in. Text dot split. So it is splitting the word. When this is split, right? It's a nice on mouse over uh, reference documentation also you have team. So look at it. It'll give you some idea. So text split basically is removing all the spaces. Then it is taking that into a list. It'll actually, when you split it, it'll go as a list. So it's counting how many list items are there or the length of it. So len is a inbuilt command. This way Python has a lot of capabilities that is inbuilt to it, where you can quickly get your responses and answers. And the number of words in the text is word underscore count. So let's run this. It gives me 10. So I change it to like this. And what happens if I put this way? Now, will each A be a word? With this logic, yes. Now, what if I write things like, let me copy this first. Do I save? Did I share this team? Are you able to access? Okay, and count unique words. Now, see, that is the complexity that programming will take us to. Count unique words only. So I want to see how many words were used. And in here, if I see, oh, where is the old code? Here. Yeah, there is this A repeats a lot of time. Text is only once. Everything else is the same. So let's see. What is the logic that changed? Instead of a list, it took as a set. Remember, I was saying that to hold data, there are different ways. List is one way, where you can have every item. They can be, there is a nice difference somewhere. Show you. Wait. Summary of, there we go. Here. List is a collection which is ordered and changeable, allows duplicate members. Set is a collection which is unordered. There is no order with it. Its order is not necessary for it. It's not important. You cannot change a set. So once you put items into it, they remain and they're unindexed. So I can't get say that first one, second one. It could be anything. But most importantly, there are no duplicate members. So what did Python do creatively is it already has a list or a set. If you want all the words, then it will give us a list, or if I want unique ones only, it'll give me a set. All right, now let's run it and see. What can be another example that we can give within Colab, Python notebook? It's running Python 3 for us. And you'll see, team, that out here it'll show you the consumption of your system that you're using. Connect to a hosted runtime. So if you have your own runtime, you can connect it as well. But it's saying that RAM and disk usage connected to Python 3, Google Compute Engine backend, RAM 1 GB to 12 GB. Disk space is also giving, oops, where did I go? I went somewhere. All right. Want more memory and disk space? Yeah, no, that's fine. I don't need any of that. Resources I don't need. I want one more code, team. Let's see this. Let's take this code first, copy it. Oops. Copy cell, go up and retain the code. Come on. Where did this come from? What did I do? That's fine. Excuse me, team. I'm sorry. I don't need resources. Let's go to Gemini here. Now, let's do something with numbers, team. Just numbers for now, so that it'll be probably easy. What can we do with numbers? So let's say print prime numbers under 100. So we're looking at a code that will help me to print prime numbers under 100. Let's see what it'll do. Okay, there we go. So again, another function got created, and the purpose of it is it checks it's prime or not. So print prime numbers under 100. This is the main code, team. This is where the actual code execution starts. The function does not get executed unless it is called by its name and what it expects. So for number in range 2 to 100, what does it mean, team? It is a for loop. Whatever is under it, it will execute it so many number of times or the still criteria is met. The key thing in Python is, how do I know that this code belongs to this loop? The way we use blocks is, instead of using ellipses like we did in Eclipse and so on, curl brackets, we use tab and indent. So this means that this if statement is within this for loop. It's saying range 2 to 100. So it is not starting with 1, because I don't think 1 will work as a prime. Um, is 2 a prime or not? 3 a prime or not? 4 a prime or not? All the way to 100. So range means start with this, go till 100. And I can also say increment by 1, or which is 1 is default, or I can say increment by 5 and see what comes out. What is happening internally? It is saying if is underscore prime number. What does it mean? This is where my function will get called. So I'll go here. I'll take the number. Let's say in this case, the first number is 2. If 2 is less than or equal to 1, is 2 less than or equal to 1? No. So if it is true, then it will return false. For I in range, now look at this, team. It's very, very important. It is logic. This is where programming becomes more interesting and critical. You remember I said there's a loop, for loop. It's saying for number in range. So instead of number, I can say X here, and this becomes X, and this becomes X. It's a variable. Here he's saying I is the variable that he or she is using, the AI Gemini. Again, another loop. Go from 2, go till half of that count. So let's say if I give 55, it will go only till 26 or 27, like that. And plus 1. So what are we doing? We're getting an integer. We're taking the number and is this multiplication? No, this is to the power. And it is only going till that number. And we don't need the entire range. Even if you give the entire range, it will still find. But what is it trying to do out here? If that overall number is divisible by any integer below that range, and it gives me, if I divide n by I, and it gives me 0 as the reminder. So that's the moduli operation team, this percentile. Then it returns a false. So at any point it sees that, oh, even if it is divisible by one number, it returns false. If it is less than or equal to 1, it will return false. So if it is not true for either of them, then what else can it do? It went through that entire loop and it could not return false because it didn't get any 0 as the return. There's always some fraction left. So if none of this happened, then it will return true. And then if is underscore prime will only print the number if whatever I highlighted is true. So is prime will get replaced with only a false or a true. False for non-prime, true for a prime number. So now see, 2, 3, 5, 7, because 11 can't be divided by anything, 29, 31, all the way till 97. So that's a very simple smart code that we could do with Colab. So this is more from our learning perspective team. But if you keep continuing to evolve or look at how things are being built, there are large projects that you can take assistance on also in Python. Now, last one I will ask is Fibonacci sequence. So I I hope it'll know that I'm asking it to build a Python code for Fibonacci sequence. And if you look at it, we're not doing too much prompting things, very simple prompting, but I'm expecting it to understand and do it. Did someone try to speak? I just heard some voice. Sorry, team, a little down on under my weather, cold and cough. So, all right, what is this? Another function, Fibonacci sequence. Fibonacci sequence, empty list. A, B, 0 and 1. That's the starting. Well, count is so and so. A is B, B is A plus B. So look at this team. There are two operations happening here. Instead of writing A equals to, sorry, A equals to B and then writing B equals to A plus B, we're doing both of those operations in one line. Python has this ability where it's, wow. I lost internet. Can you still hear me? You can still hear me. Okay, I lost the connection on my bigger screens, but that's good. Thank you. So let's continue. I don't know where I got this plane from. That audio is actually coming from here, Python list. They're playing some ad somewhere and it's playing up here. I can right click and say mute tab. So there's no audio coming. All right, team. So this is the code for Fibonacci. Let's run and see what it does. So I'm just trying to say that Python makes things easier for the end programmer to achieve the same result with typing lesser. With fewer characters, can we achieve the same goal? Look at this. Count plus equals to 1. What did it actually mean? Are you seeing the same screen as I am showing? Let me see the audience view. Yeah, you are. That's good. Sorry, I was speaking on mute. I was saying it's a shortcut for us to do an increment by one. I don't need so many characters now. So that's the simplicity of how Python tries to give us what it is. So here the first 10 Fibonacci sequence 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 12, 21, 34. What would come next, team? Can someone tell me what is the next number in the sequence? This is the last question for the day to everyone. What's the next number, team? I hope you got the logic where a number is the sum of the previous two numbers. That is Fibonacci. So 1 is the sum of 0 and 1. 2 is the sum of 1 and 1. 3 is the sum of 1 and 2. 5, 2 and 3. 8 is 3 plus 5. 5 plus 8 is 13. So what is the number next after 34? Perfect. I got a few correct answers. Thank you all. 55. That's correct. Why? 21 plus 34 is 55. So why is it doing only 10 number of terms? What is terms? Let me say 100. Will it do it? Is Python powerful enough that it can do large operations and quickly give me the same results, or will it take a lot of time? Look at this. When I said 100, how big those numbers are going, team? It's spiraling into humongous astronomical size numbers. And that's big. To, to store a data like this requires a lot of space. And that is where Python is very, very good with data handling, team. And hence it picked up a lot of speed in the AI ML market. Great. That's it from us, my side for today. I wanted to do a couple of things, which I'm glad I believe we did. One was make sure that we go through the agenda, get a brief overview on AI, once again, fundamentals, each topic. Then we went into Colab and started playing with Python for a bit. Any questions, anyone, before we wind up? So tomorrow, go to webinar is the same one, 6 to 7 p.m. Is that time suitable for all weekdays? The reason I'm asking is it is all right for me, but if it's because you will need to be active in that session, team. You can't be silent and muted. You have to show screen, you have to show progress on whatever we're doing. So Python fundamentals, we started on that, Gemini AI and Google Colab. Yeah, setting up the dev environment. We didn't do this. We'll try and see. Next one. We have Python fundamentals, data structures, and control flow. So we have more time to go deeper in the next class. Then we'll get into prompt engineering and AI assisted. So one more session on Python fundamentals, and then we should be good. Files, API handlings, perfect introduction pandas. This is minimalistic that we need. Then we'll go vibe coding. We'll build everything from this. Very interesting team. I love to do what I'm doing. Nice. Any other questions before we wind up for the day? If there are questions, let them come, please. Don't wait. We'll end up right after this. How is Colab different than Notebook? No, okay, wow. Totally different. NotebookLM is giving me, if I go here and into NotebookLM and say chat, write a PyCode to reverse a string. Let's see if it does that. It should not, because it ideally it's not supposed to know what is Python, but even if it does, it might give me a code. If I ask Grok or I ask Cursor the same question, what would it give me? Where is it? Write a PyCode. It will give me the code. You ask ChatGPT or Grok, it will give the code. Colab will give you a working environment where you can also test your code. And that's the big difference, team. So Gemini, the provided sources exclusively discuss the capability of GenAI, blah, blah, blah. Also mentioned with working in Python. Furthermore, LLMs can establish connections with programming resources such as Python interpreter, but it didn't give me the code. It didn't give me the code. NotebookLM. How about Grok? If it loads, I'll ask it. Base 44 did build a website finally. green thumb. Where is it? Publish. Let's see. Okay, I'll publish it here. Copy. Let's see if it made anything. Come on, Grok. Where is ChatGPT? I'll ask ChatGPT. So ChatGPT or Grok will give me the response, um, but not it will not execute it. Colab will do both. It'll help you write the code. It'll help you execute. And over a period of time, you should be able to easily do something like complete project development using Colab. So that is where how do we set up dev environment and do it. I would prefer to do it in an IDE like Eclipse, PyCharm, or Cursor rather than on Colab. Colab is okay to get started and play around a little, but it's not a fully developed environment, so there's some restrictions. There you go. It gave me the code. If you want to practice, here are two more ways. Wow, see, look at this, how it gave me all the different possible ways. Nice. This the app that it generated. Grok is here. Grok will also give me the code. It will not run it. All right. Any other questions, please? Colab sets up the Python environment called Python Notebook, and then we are able to execute it there. Questions. There was one or two more. Any requirements, prerequisites for weekday class? Weekday class is actually a project work. I would keep giving tasks and assignment. I would want you to take it and work on it. Come back next day and show me where is the progress. And slowly I'll keep guiding you. It is all about doing a project together where you are taking work back, working on it, making some progress and coming back. Be it questions or something, you will be sharing your screen team. That is the main prerequisites for the weekday class. Otherwise, all the tasks, what we do, how we do, I'll show you. No previous lessons to watch. The only one is about the application. I'll explain to you what we're doing, where we're doing. You can take it from there. Where can I find the document you're updating during the class? It is here. I'll put it in the chat and I'll also put it later in the website. Anyone with the link is an editor, so be careful, team, on how you use it. All right, team, any other questions, please? Thank you for spending your weekend with me. It was very interesting. A lot of participants, a lot of questions, enthusiasm. It's nice to see an active list of participants. I sent the link to this Google Doc to everyone in the chat. Please take it from there. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day, the rest of your Sunday. God bless all. We'll see you later. Bye now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.